It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. Mad Dr. Scipio on America's Podcast. What's the buzz? Joined by, she's back. She's back, folks. She's back. Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, has arrived. How are you, Amelia?
I'm good.
How
How
did
are
you get
you?
in here? Who lets you in?
I have a secret way to come in. I'm not telling.
I got to find a secret way to get out.
No, you won't.
Anyway, so you doing all right?
Doing good. Doing better. Yes.
Good for you, kid. We have a very special guest tonight. We're going to talk a lot tonight about radio and addiction and recovery, and is ass a dirty word? And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff.
I
I
know
want to
we all have one,
introduce
so I
you.
don't know.
I know, right? Let me introduce you to my new friend. This is Geri Petito. Geri is an interesting character. She is a character, quite frankly. How are you, Geri? I'll
I'm
make sure
good.
that you're here. Here you go. Here she is.
I'm great. Thank you.
Geri is a local radio personality with the Hamilton Radio. If you guys up in the Hamilton, New Jersey area, well, you know she's like the queen of the airwaves in Hamilton. How long have you been with them?
So I actually started with Hamilton Radio after my book was published. They reached out to me in 2016.
Okay.
And then
So you're just a baby, and
it's so funny. And then I was on like 5 or 6 networks. WBNM was another huge one.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey. It's been amazing.
It's been a journey, and oh boy, has it. By the way, the book you have to get, it's called I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. And it says I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumb ass. So I already broke the no curse rule by ×3 tonight. I was told I was asked, let's put it this. I was asked nicely. Angelo, can you please no politics tonight, and please don't curse, because my family wants to watch the show and I want to use this for my reel. For my air checks, absolutely. You better use it for your air check, by God. Geri, I know that you have a creative swell inside you when you get things out on pen and paper.
Yeah.
You have a poem you'd like to start off with, so I'm
Yeah.
going to let this is all you, kiddo. Take care.
Thank you, sweetheart. So this kind of sums up my journey. Okay. I wrote it. It's called My Story Ain't Over. In 2016, I published my book. The last few years have been off the hook. My book signings were great, interviewed as well, then asked to host a show with so much to tell. Who would have thought this could be true? Now on 5 networks, I was brought to you. International Hall of Fame radio show host is me, spreading hope across the globe for everyone to see. Whew. 32 years ago, my life was a mess. I'm sorry, 34 years ago, my life was a mess. 34 years later, it's filled with success. I never lost hope. I knew there was more. I needed to change my inner core. The last 44 years, man, what a ride. When I think back, I wanted to hide. I thank God I didn't. He led the way. I gave him my hand. I needed to pray. What God has done for me to now heal, he led me to you to help you to kneel. Give it to God and you won't regret. Your life can be changed. You don't have to fret. I'm proof. Yes, I am. Recovery is real. Changing your thoughts will allow you to heal. God made me his servant to help heal the sick. Hard work must apply. The fix is not quick. But if you do want it, hard work will prevail. From a 1 to a 10, you'll reach that scale. A nutritional health coach, a recovery coach too. God put me here to really help you. I'll never stop trying till God says enough. He's shown me my journey. He made me real tough. Proud of my certificates. They all state my name. I display them with pride on my wall of fame. Now, 2020 Revised was my book. The last few years have been off the hook.
Awesome.
There you go.
By the way, that poem is at the back of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. And she'd rather be a smart ass than a dumb ass.
That's right.
We've had guests like that we've had actually to ask to leave. Oh, there are no in radio, especially what we do in our normal format. And by the way, folks, this is not, as you know, this is not our normal. Um, Jerry, you began your journey, interestingly enough, with as so many people do. All success stories start out troubled. They
Okay.
all start out with that same a conflict. They usually, and normally it's a conflict not with other people but with oneself. What
Mm.
was your initial conflict? How did it how did it fester itself? And what did you initially do, but in way of recovery or dealing with your problems?
So I'm going to share this story with you, and I'm going to also bring it up to age 57, because when you hear what happened at age 57, based on what I'm going to tell you started when I was a teenager,
Mhm.
will blow your mind.
Okay.
So I live in Robbinsville, New Jersey, on the same road as my dad's brother, my uncle, neighbor, relatives, okay, blah, blah, blah. I was a tough kid. I was a kid from New York, Long Island City, right? We moved to New Jersey when I was 12, but I was a tough kid. And I have to say this so you'll understand what happened. I didn't look like a kid, not at 14. I looked at a very big chest. I looked like a 16, 17, 18-year-old.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So a neighbor touched me. Okay? Got me alone. Okay, and put his hand down my pants, put his hand up my shirt, and was whispering obscenities to me. And I said to him, and here's the thing, he was only in his late 20s. So it's not like he was a 60-year-old man. I'm telling you that for a reason. Okay. So I whispered in his ear, you have 5 seconds to get your hands off of me, or my father will kill you with his bare hands. And he went, fine, and walked away. Now, back then, we didn't know everything we know now.
Yeah.
But I did know I should tell someone.
Right.
And I told my uncle. And he let the person know,
Mm-hmm.
I know that you did this, and you're lucky you're moving away next week.
Mm-hmm.
They moved to another state.
Yeah.
I didn't start using drugs because of him touching me, because I really was a tough kid. I started messing with drugs with my cousins, this and that, and pot and pills and whatever. I always thought as I got older, did we let a child molester go? And that's why I said he was only in his late 20s and I didn't look like a child. I said that
Yeah.
for a reason. Okay. Long story short, that's what I couldn't deal with. And eventually I was making a lot of money. I had beauty salons. I mean, too much money at too young. And the next thing you know, I'm doing heroin. Okay. So I never stopped thinking about that incident based on that.
Right.
Now, I'm 57 years old. This is how good God is. There was a family party, and that family was invited from another state. I didn't realize that. And then he came up to me at the end of the party. I stayed away from that side of the room when I realized that.
Mm-hmm.
He came up to me at the end of the party thinking it was over, whatever. And I'm 57, come straight at me with lips puckered to try to kiss my lips. I turned my head and he smacked my butt. Now you're thinking, did you kick his butt? Did you, punch him in the face? No. I thanked God he did that. I laughed in his face and I said, so you're not a child molester. You're just a dirty old man. Because if he was a child molester, he wouldn't have been interested in me at 57
Sure.
years old. And he goes, so what? And he was older. And he slapped me again. I said, you're lucky I don't hit you right now or tell your wife, because I do love your family. But I'm going to thank God for this today. And you need to repent. And I walked away. And God gave me that gift at 57 years old to let me know you could put this to rest, Jack. He wasn't a child molester.
Yeah.
And I mean that. I put it to rest.
Remarkable.
Absolutely.
So the coolest part of when I was doing drugs and what God did for me, I did a show every year, the beginning or the end, praising God and Elvis and saying how they saved my life. So in the 80s, I had beauty salons in the 80s and 90s. Like I said, making too much money, too young. I had a black and gold Eldorado Cadillac with Elvis license plates. One of my clients to this day is still in my life. She was the municipal court judge of Mercer County. She was the boss of all the judges.
Right.
I used to meet her at the courthouse a lot for lunch. One night, 1 o'clock in the morning, I've got a girlfriend in my car with me, and we're copying heroin from our drug dealer. He doesn't have any dope, so this guy's got to get in the back of my car. Imagine this, back of my car, and we got to drive 2 blocks. An unmarked police car that recognized my license plates from the courthouse and knew I knew the judge was following us.
Oh, wow.
He waited until he got out of the car, got the drugs, got back in my car, and pulled us over.
Yeah.
He comes to the window, and he says, Jerry, Judge so-and-so said, get rid of this guy. Get rid of the drugs, go home, get some rest, and get some help. And if I didn't have those Elvis license plates, he would not have known it was me, and I would have been in jail that night.
Remarkable.
Okay?
Right.
Utterly remarkable. It's
But then-
interesting. The story you tell is quite familiar to me, not because I've heard it before, but it's actually happened to a guest on our show previously. If you watch and listen to the show regularly, along with the other 17.6 million people who do, we are big Elvis fans here. In fact, Amelia's late husband, God rest his soul, used to work for Graceland. He worked for Elvis.
Yeah.
We are huge Elvis fans. I met Elvis Presley in 1977, about a month and a half before he died. And I will tell you that there was something magical about him, and having his license plate on your car as a big shining beacon that's saying, here's Jerry, get her behind over, you know, talk some sense into her before, you know, there's nothing left to talk.
Amazing.
It's absolutely remarkable. Amelia, you know the story well.
Yes.
One of the reasons we're doing this show tonight, I had Jerry here, is because of your personal situation. You want to tell your story now?
Wait, Amelia, before you do
sure.
that,
Yes, Jerry.
I just want to share something about Elvis, if you don't mind, and then I
Go
want to
ahead,
hear your
please.
story.
Of course, please.
Sure.
Okay, so I was 16 when he died, but the ticket, I was finally able to go, my mom said, and he died. I have the ticket framed in my Elvis poker room. I had an Elvis poker table made, or I'm a poker dealer. And I got to interview his nurse, Marion. She became a good friend of mine. I got to interview Priscilla's son, Navarone.
Yeah.
I got to interview a few other people. So that was the gift God gave me back.
Yeah.
I never got to meet Elvis. But thank you for that.
You're quite welcome. I have a long history with the Presley family and the entourage. Charlie Hodge was a very dear friend of mine, as was J.D. Sumner. And I've done actually psychic readings for the late Lisa Marie Presley. And this has all been documented. It's all documented.
Yeah.
It's all out there.
Amazing.
Amelia, your story is eerily similar.
Yes.
Talk.
Well, it's more of my husband's side, really. When I first met him, you know, we got together. Everything was fine. We started having children. We got together. And then all of a sudden, he met this gentleman in Knoxville, Tennessee, where we were married. And I thought, okay, well, this is nothing. This is fine. And all of a sudden, my husband would come home acting weird. And I thought, okay, this is not like him. Come to find out, the guy that he was working with started giving him cocaine. And all of a sudden, our money started disappearing. And I'm like calling this guy. I said, what are you doing? What's going on? He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, he's not acting himself. What did you give him? He's like, oh, well, I finally got Jeff to admit he's doing crack and cocaine now. And so we had to do extra jobs so he could put money back into our household. He wouldn't come home for 2 or 3 days. Our electricity got turned off. I had two small children in the home. where I didn't have any food. I had to give my daughter orange juice or any kind of juice I could find to put her to bed. They're 17 months apart at this time. They're little bitty babies. And then he would stop and then start again, and then he promised me he wouldn't do it again, and so I believed him, and then he would buy me, like, sodas or flowers, just to say, "Okay, I won't do it again," or "I promise," and, of course, you believe that. And so we moved here to Florida for 1 year, and he tried to kill himself. And then we moved to Texas for a little bit, and then again, he said that again, so we moved back to Knoxville, same thing, same situation. Moved back to Texas. He was on it, off and on, off and on. He tried to kill himself at least 2 more times. Again, and then we moved back here, and he would tell me that, "Oh, I have this guy. He's supposedly the wrecking guy, the wrecker for the car. The car's not working, so you'll have to find a way home." Or he would leave the kids with other people that I didn't really know or family. Or he would drop off the kids like at a bowling alley. Luckily, I worked right across the street, and we wouldn't know how to get home. We only had the one car. And then come to find out that he did heroin, and I didn't know till the end. And it got to the point where he and I were just falling apart, breaking apart from each other, and I didn't know what to do. And then he would say, I'm quitting, and then I'm stopping, but it was like off and on addict kind of thing. And then it just kept on, and I'm like, "Are you going to stop or are you going to continue?" And then he would come pick me up from work, and I'd smell like mint on his breath. He's like, "Oh, it's just peppermint, something." But he'd get those little bottles, those little ounce bottles, and he'd drink them on the way. And one time we were coming home, and he passed out in the car. Luckily, I had the way to stop it and put it on park. And we were in the park where we live at now, but what if we were on the street? And one time he fell asleep driving the
Right.
car.
Amelia, how long before Jeff was able to confront you and say, "I need help. I can't do this myself"?
Um,
How long a period between like his rapid descent into oblivion and finally somebody snatching him up and saying, "Hey, we got to help you here"?
Whenever he got so angry and accused me of things that I would have to call the police, and
There you go.
it would
Good.
get to that point, I said, either you take him to jail or you take him somewhere, because I can't handle it. And he would just throw over things. He'd break things. He'd call me names, the names that I'm not going to say here, of course, because I'm
Yeah,
not going to be able to curse, but
it's
he
a
would call me,
family show.
Terrible.
it would be so bad. And the children were just so scared. And they were like, "Mom."
Whenever you have, see, you said something critical there that's utterly important, and I don't want it to get lost on people.
Mhm.
The moment you have to bring law enforcement into it, or the courts, or
4 times.
any kind of an advocate,
Mhm.
whenever you have to do that, it's either going to completely dissolve whatever relationship you have,
Right,
or it's going to be the catharsis that makes it stronger.
right.
So, how long during this lengthy process, and I'm sure, and I know it was because I know you,
Yes.
it was a long process. How long before he's like was able to talk without lying about it?
Until when we didn't have any money or we had to pay a certain bill, things like that. After the first time, it was when we had of course, our electric cut off, and
Yeah,
then recently it was, after I would tell him I was going to leave him.
yeah,
Basically, it was into the marriage. It was after the first 5 years of it,
yeah,
and then after that, it was after like 2 or 3 years later, because we were married for 32 years before he
yeah,
passed away.
yeah.
And the last 3, 4 years that he was here, he was trying to lose weight to get a hip replacement. So I'm going to say the last 3 years of
Yeah.
our marriage before he passed, he got his act straightened out.
It was actually he passed just shy of your 32nd anniversary.
Yes, we had just had our
Yeah.
32nd anniversary. He's
Hmm.
been gone 8 months now.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Geri,
Thank
sound
you.
familiar? It's a familiar story, is it not?
It's a familiar story with so many people.
Yeah.
When I do my health coaching and recovery coaching, the story, it's unbelievable how many people have the same stories.
Mm-hmm.
Geri, at what point in your journey, and it is a journey, we call it a journey for a reason, because there are ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. It's
Mm-hmm.
like going on a really bizarre amusement ride. It really is. In so many ways, you can make the parallel because it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally crazy at times. And there are times it's very exhilarating, especially when you're going up and you feel like, you're getting to where, hey, I'm past all this. And then the crescendo and you come crashing down again.
Mm-hmm.
That's the roller coaster effect of it. What
Well,
would you, based on your experience, what would you recommend the weaker willed? And I want to say this because you're a strong willed individual.
Yeah.
But what would you recommend the weaker willed individual do? How do they get help?
okay. So now, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not giving you opinions here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you facts. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right. So I never had that spiraling thing happen with me because
Yeah.
I made sure it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want everyone out there to understand something. You do not have a disease. You have a dis-ease of the brain cells. Okay? There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Cancer is a disease. Okay? I'm not talking about babies, God forbid their mother was using while the baby was in the womb. That's not who I'm talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
And that baby is born with a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We're
Right.
talking about someone, adult, whatever, young person who choose to use.
Mm-hmm.
They
Right.
choose to use. Okay, I chose. Okay. Once you start using, and it could even be food, addiction to
Mm-hmm.
food, gambling,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Whatever
Absolutely.
that addiction is, my friend lost his home, his wife, his kids way back from gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So whatever that addiction is, you've made a choice to do it. Now your brain cells are messed up.
Absolutely.
They are. Okay. It's a dis-ease of the brain cells. This is what you need to do. If you're serious, you need to do number one, cut all sugar out of your diet. When you go into a rehab, you know what they had in the rehab? Sugar, candy everywhere. You can have as
Oh
much as you
wow.
want
Yep.
because it keeps you an addict. Okay, when you take in sugar, your brain believes you're taking in dope. Okay, that's how bad sugar is in this country. I've traveled all over the world. I went to Russia back in the day in the 80s when it was communist through Lenox Hill Hospital. I went to China. I was at both the walls. I had guns pointed at me. Listen, I really experienced a lot. I looked at brains under microscopes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Coca-Cola, they had just brought McDonald's there when we were there that month. So all the Americans had to see McDonald's in China, right? In Japan.
Right.
Well, my cousin got a soda, spit it out, and said, "This is bad," and they laughed at us. And the tour guide said, "That's because if they want to bring their stuff to our countries, even Starbucks, number
Right.
one, it all has to be organic. Number two, they have to change their formulas. They let us in the back. They're cracking open organic eggs. They put 1 teaspoon of real sugar in a can of Coke if they wanted it over there. We have
Mhm.
9 1/4 teaspoons of high fructose corn syrup here in our country.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
sugar is the number one thing you must get out of your diet. Okay,
Mhm.
that's number one. Number two, I don't care if you believe in God or not. I don't care if it's your higher power. I don't care. You have to give it to someone that's more in control than you.
Absolutely.
So I'm a
Yes.
Christian. I believe in God. And I actually went to God and said, "It's now or never, Lord. I'm giving it to you. You saved my life tonight. I didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
I'm giving it
Mhm.
to you. Take over." And I put myself
Right.
in rehab. And the whole time I was in there, I was praying to God. God changed
Absolutely.
my
Yes.
life. So you either have to come to a place, guys, where you're serious about this. You no longer are the, poor me. You're not the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying, listen, I know there are a lot of horrible stories that these poor people went through when they were young.
Oh,
I get it.
Oh,
Okay?
absolutely.
We've heard them here. I know that.
But you're now an adult and you're making choices.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So choose
Absolutely.
wisely. I have a
Yes.
poem in there called Choose Wisely. That's what
Yeah.
you need to do, guys. So sugar has to be taken out of your diet, and you have to give it to God.
Absolutely.
That's how you get healed. Change your
The
life.
expression "let go and let God" isn't just a colloquial expression, ladies
Right.
and gentlemen. It's a reality. It's a formula, and
Mhm.
it works. It's simple. Sometimes the simple things elude us because we're used to looking for the complex, complicated nature of things. Listen, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay.
Oh,
If it's not broke, don't fix it. It doesn't need fixing. Let go
No.
and let God.
That's right.
I give it to you. I can't do it. I got to walk away now.
That's right.
Yeah.
How many, look, we've all been through it. Myself, Jerry, Amelia, God knows, probably more than both of us because she's had, a lot of things to deal with. I know what she's been through.
yes.
But I will tell you emphatically, there is help out there if you want it, if you need it. And there are two different things. Wanting and needing are two entirely different scenarios. You
Right.
can want help but not get it. You can need help but not want it. You
Absolutely.
get where we're going. The book. Check this book out.
Mhm.
There are lots of anecdotes in this book. It will make you laugh. It will make you cry. It will make you think. It will make you act and react. And that was the purpose of Geri Petito putting this book together, I would suggest. Am I right, young lady?
So I was woken up in the middle of the night, my
Mhm.
mouth to God's ears. 2016, I was woken up by a voice. I had a tap on my shoulder, and I heard the voice as clear as day say, write your book.
Absolutely.
So I giggled and I said, okay, Lord, you want me to write my book? Because I'm a poet and I've written poems and had them published back in the day.
Mhm.
I said, okay, Lord, you want me to write my book? I heard, write your book.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't tell my daughter. I didn't tell my brother. My father had Alzheimer's. So we were taking care of him at our homes. And so I called, and they knew that I stated once a year for 30 days to fast. That was my thing.
Right.
So I called them up and said, okay, I'm fasting this month. You're on dad duty. Okay. I didn't tell them what I was doing. So I'm not
Right.
tech savvy. I hand wrote the book.
Mhm.
And it
Yeah.
wasn't this big because you'll see a part in there where it says from this page forward on page 74 is my revised edition. And that was in 2020 with COVID. So
Mhm.
anyway, I hand wrote it. Now I'm like, what the heck do I do with this?
Right.
So I call a friend of mine whose uncle back in the day, he's gone now, was a publisher. She came to my house, hung out with me. She got it on perfect format and says these words to me. Jared, we're going to send it to like 20 publishers. They may like it. They may not. It could take years. I said, no. I heard Simon & Schuster.
Mhm.
She laughed and said, okay. I said, just attach your name and number 2 because I'm not good at tech. 5 days later, my mouth to God's ears, we were on a 3-way with this Christian woman from Simon & Schuster. And she said, Jerry, we love the book and we're publishing it.
Awesome.
I didn't know why that book had to be done when it was done. And this is in here.
Yeah.
Saved 2 of my cousins'
It was
lives.
time.
2 of my cousins' lives it saved.
Wow. Beautiful.
That month, one of them, that month, the day it was out,
Yeah.
I got a call.
Jerry, I'm going to ask you to hold that. We're up against a hard break. This is break number 1. Time to get yourself another coffee. Get yourself a cold, refreshing drink. We will be back in 1 minute and 1 second.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code Wrestling Future for a generous 20% discount. That's enter Wrestling Future for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com. And Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com. And the Lawnmower 3.0, your balls will thank you. And so will we.
I sincerely apologize to women over the age of 55. Forgive me, ladies, but they pay the bills around here.
I love that commercial.
I wrote, produced, directed, and performed that commercial
That's his
for
voice.
manscaped.com. And they use it nationally. Anyway, enough of my credits. You're here tonight. Tonight, the addiction and recovery of Geri Petito. And I will tell you, I had the opportunity very briefly. It was a brief but enriching conversation that we had on the phone. I realized that, people are put together for a reason. It's one of God's little jests. The fact that you are a life facilitation coach, I am as well, licensed and certified.
Yep.
I also am a practicing and credentialed psychic medium. I work with police departments and government agencies. When they need me, I'm available, and I never charge for my stuff, ever.
Yeah, me too. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I never charge. Never charge. The other thing that I found interesting is that we both started out in terrestrial radio playing music. And so let's talk a little bit about radio and how everything ties into your radio foray. So how did you get it's a weird kind of journey to go from addict to recovering addict to working on the radio.
Okay.
So let's walk me down that path, because I feel like there's a story coming.
Of course there is. Okay. I'm Italian and I'm a New Yorker. There's always a story.
There's always a story.
So
got it,
my book gets published in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Doc G from Hamilton Radio saw it online.
Yep.
He reached out to me. He said, come on, we want to interview you here, DJ Danny, his daughter's show, about your book. I'm like, great. Mm-hmm. So I go live in studio in Hamilton. I'm only 5 minutes from there. And they interview me about my book. So the show's over and we're talking, and he says to me, you have a great radio voice. Why don't you come on board? And I said, oh, no. I was a poker dealer at the time. I ran a poker league. I was also a vegan chef. I said, no, that's not my thing, but thank you. Well, he bothered me for like 3 months. We even went to lunch to talk about it, and I prayed about it. And this is what I got. I was laughing so hard. Every single report card from back in the day in New York as well, they would write on the report card something. And every single quarter, the same. She won't shut up. She won't stop talking. She won't. Oh, I'm not kidding you. They had a desk. You remember our schools? They had the desk and chairs attached.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So they had one outside of each classroom for the bad kid. Yeah. I wasn't a bad kid. The teachers loved me. But I wouldn't shut up. I was always out there. They'd have to bring me in because I'd be yelling to the people going to the bathrooms. Hey, okay, right. So I said, I guess I got to do this.
Yeah.
And that started my incredible radio journey.
Sure.
And then I was only on a couple years, and the producer, we call him Brother O, Ngozi of Beverly Nation at the time. It's now WBNN. Mm-hmm. He was watching me on his cousin's show on Hamilton Radio and called in because we could call in at the time.
Sure.
He said, Geri Petito, I need you to come along. I was like, heck yeah, because now I'm doing it for 2 years. I'm like, sure. Yeah. And he was out of Lagos, Nigeria. We were all over the world again. And I believe, of course, it started with Hamilton Radio, but I believe that it was Beverly Nation that got me really looked into for Hall of Fame. And I got that. I got I'm Achiever.
Can we talk about this? Okay, I want to make sure I get this right.
Right.
International Internet Hall of Fame.
Radio Hall of Fame. It was out of. Yeah.
So, where are they? Who are they? I've never heard of them.
So I know. Hold on. I'll show you my certificates. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. I'm really curious. Though I wanted to ask you about this. I've never heard of them.
Okay.
And I've been in this business for almost 50 years.
So This was out of so the, oh Lord, I think it was Germany. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Well,
yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
yeah. I
So
think
it's
it
a
was
literal certificate. Okay.
yes. They sent me certificates. I got a ring.
Right.
Really cool. So anyway,
That's wonderful.
God really. So I said, you know what? I was made to talk, obviously, since I was a kid.
Well,
So
it,
now I
it doesn't hurt that you're Italian. Come on.
that's
You know?
right. Okay. I had to. And so that's what got me
Yeah.
really into it. And I've gotten people calling me and someone when we did Hamilton Radio in the beginning, we were
Mhm.
live on Facebook back then. Now we're in YouTube too and all that. But I had a woman call live on air
Yeah.
saying, Geri, your book saved my life.
Wonderful.
She said, I no. She said, I watched your show
Yeah.
and I was going to kill myself that night. And I put your show
Wow.
on. True
Wow.
Get it.
story. And
For
she
real.
came live on air and said that. And I just cried and said, God, thank you.
Yeah.
So it's helping so many people, you know.
That actually happened to me. I make this up, not one word when I tell you. That actually happened to me in Philadelphia at WPGR
Okay.
in Philadelphia, Bala Cynwyd, actually.
Mhm.
They call it Radio Row. Channel 6 is up to TV stations or at the time I was doing the overnight because some people like to do morning drive. Some people love the afternoon drive. I like give me the nighttime. I'm laid back. I'm chill. I just want to hang out, right? Well, I get this call one night from this woman who, because again, I'm a practicing psychic, and that's what I do, and I've never hid that fact from anyone. And I had this woman on the phone. I'm not even kidding. At least 2 hours before help actually got to her. Because I'm trying. You got to remember back in the day, and you know what this is like, Geri, to get somebody on the phone and keep them while you're trying to actually. You got a phone here, and you got her on the phone here, and you're trying to have two conversations, hoping she doesn't hear this conversation. So you know what I'm talking about.
So heartbreaking. Yes.
Yeah, and I went through that. Thank God everything worked out, and I mean literally, thank God everything worked out well.
Good.
But it's one of those things, man. It's a hard pill to swallow when you realize what you've got and how blessed you are, and then you hear somebody, and I can't even say cry because it was more than a cry; it was a wail.
Yeah.
It was just like this primal wail is the only way I can describe it. So, and you know what that's like too. I'm sure you've heard that sound a time or two in your life.
Yes, I have.
So you make your way into radio, and what happens next? When does the barometer start to go upward and upward, and your star starts to rise?
Well, like I said, Beverly Nation was next, and they really got me noticed as well. And then I was on RTR, remember them radio?
I remember it well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
Oh, do I remember WTR?
okay. And then I was on Damon Looks, and that was through YouTube as well. That was part
Yeah.
of WBNN. Then I did my own podcast. Then I was on PANJ Radio. They
Okay.
were out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And, so things just kept happening and happening.
Wonderful.
And it just really got me noticed. And it's just been an incredible journey. But the best part for me is the amount of people I was able to help through the book and all
Yeah.
these incredible legends that I got to know so well and interview. And you know what's funny? Because you know this as well as anyone. You've interviewed a ton of legends as well. They used to thank me. And I would cry and say, don't, please
Yeah,
do not thank me.
exactly.
Because
Exactly.
you don't know what you're doing for me right now. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They felt like they were not being remembered.
Right.
You know?
It is man, I want to tell you what, we have actually had that happen. Amelia and I began our journey together when we were doing, believe it or not, you're going to love this one. We were doing a professional wrestling show as part of our network.
Mm-hmm.
And we would get these older legends, guys in their like 70s and early 80s, just looking for people to remember their name.
Yeah.
And so many of them, you want to go like, God, you know, this guy used to sell out Madison Square Garden,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's begging just to be heard on a radio show.
Right.
For just a couple of people might remember, hey, that's that guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they might not even remember his name because in wrestling they very rarely do.
Yeah.
What they remember is your match. Who did you wrestle against? That's the bit. Remember, Amelia?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank God we don't. And I'm thank you, Lord, that we don't do that anymore. Because I'm gonna tell you something. It's utterly heartbreaking.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do here, and I think that we do very well, is put people together. What I want you to do, if you can, for me right now, is to give your contact information. Right now, we are broadcasting right now, and I'm going to give you real-time numbers as we speak. We are at 15,721,611 people online right now.
Amazing.
And we have a subscription base, but guess what? We don't charge a dime for our subscriptions.
We don't.
This radio station does not generate income, and I designed it like that purposely. One of the things that I loved doing in radio, and by the way, folks, and Geri can tell you, Amelia can tell you, we're all radio pros here, okay?
Yes.
One of the things that you'll never get rich in radio.
That's right.
Not working for you, it's not going to happen. I've got not one book. I've got 2 books. Okay. I didn't charge a dime for them either. I had them printed up. And I gave them away.
You know how many fat lists? I don't even want to tell you. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Between me and my brother, we've given thousands of my books away to people.
Can I tell you something? My book is the same thickness. It's the same amount of pages. And I shit you not. Pardon my language, folks. Am I lying? I'm
no.
She's the truth meter over here. Okay.
Oh.
This woman will call bullshit on me if I'm bullshitting. She'll tell you.
There you go.
You know.
And if anybody tries to say
my
anything,
wife have in common. Amelia and my wife are like they. I think they call each other in the middle of the night.
Yeah. And if anybody tries to say anything negative about the Mad Dog, nope.
Yeah, right.
Come to me because
I saw a clip the other day. I want to ask you about it. I saw Michael D'Amore singing to you.
Yeah, Geri baby. Because
Geri
that Geri
baby.
girl was who the heck was she? She wasn't even a girlfriend. She was. They made her up, so it's Geri baby now.
Yeah, here you go. It was Michael D'Amore is an amazing vocalist. And he was doing the Frankie Valli song, Sherry Baby. Interesting about that song because my group and I won the high school talent contest, Paul Six High School with Sherry Baby. And I was the guy that sang, "Why Don't You Come Out?"
Oh, gosh.
I was the bass man.
All right.
I was the smallest guy in the group with the deepest voice.
Yeah.
So it was a radio for me was a given.
Geri baby.
And thank you to High Lit, God rest your soul. Jerry Blavitt. Jerry, God rest your soul.
Oh gosh, yes.
And the late Bob Charger. Bobby was a good guy. Carmine Giacovini, what a wonderful man. We lost him last year. All the legends, all the local radio. And we just lost another one, Pierre Robert.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, a major player, major player. This guy was known nationally and internationally for his voice and just the amazing body of work that you bring to the radio. So let me ask you about that. We're going to go into talk about our radio days a little bit, and we're going to call this Radio Days. Okay. One of the things I want to ask you is, and I have a number of things I'm very proud of. What is and I'll go around the horn here. You too, Amelia.
Mm.
So let's start with our guest, Geri. What is the one accomplishment or feat or something that you did radio related that you are very most proud of?
I mean, well, my certificates, my awards, of course.
Mhm.
Who wouldn't be proud of that? But
Absolutely, of course.
but I reached 33 million listeners, and that I was
That's
so
awesome.
proud of because
Mm-hmm.
I'm going back to school years, okay?
Yeah. Oh, sure.
I actually cried when I reached that limit,
Oh, yeah.
and that was on WBNN,
Mm-hmm.
thinking how I was always in trouble for talking.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I'm like,
Exactly.
God turned it around.
I'm telling you.
Turned it around.
And
Right?
now people want to
So,
listen to you. That's
you know,
that's the wonderful thing.
Right.
Now you want them to listen.
okay.
And people want and I know people are going, well, where did she get that kind of listenership? We're talking about global numbers, folks.
Global.
We're talking about global numbers.
Mm-hmm.
At any given time, Amelia and I and our other partner who is not here tonight, Big Cal, who is, by the way, and you'll meet him someday. He's an actor. He's done the Righteous Gemstones and Vice Principals on HBO. Great guy.
Okay.
Big Cal is one of our other, one of our players here. And at any given time, we reach 15, 18 million. Something. It all
Amazing, right?
depends on if it's a slow news week.
Mm-hmm.
We're the kings of the airwaves. If it's a
Absolutely.
busy news week, we still have our our devoted followers, our devotees we call them. But sometimes the national news gets in our way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we did it at 9:30 at night, WBNN.
Yeah.
So, and depending where in the world, so people,
Yeah.
especially in the US, they were up
Yeah.
and they would just sit
Yeah.
there and listen on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
know?
why we're live at 7:00 every night. So, and when we have guests from California, for example, we have a number of actors, producers, directors that have been on the show. 4:00 p.m. in LA is perfect for them.
Yes.
And when you hear when I say at the beginning of our show, it's 4:00 in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
it's 6:00 in Chicago, and it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Or
Yeah.
sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll say it's 2:00 in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
which it actually is right
Yeah.
now, about almost 3:00 in Sri
Yeah.
Lanka.
Almost.
But because we are broadcast to Sri Lanka, and I don't know why, but there are 4 people in Sri Lanka who listen to this. Amelia,
Thank you.
tell
Thank
me
you.
if I promise you I'm not lying.
No,
No,
it's
thank you
amazing.
There are
guys for
4
listening.
people on the island of Sri Lanka who love What's the Buzz.
Yeah.
Amazing.
thank you.
It's just
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what? That's a lot to be proud. Amelia, how about you? What is your? Let me bring you up on the big camera because I haven't done that all night.
Oh gosh.
What is your proudest moment in radio or any of the things we've done?
Well, I first of all, when I was younger, I got to listen to a lot of radio, and I got to learn a lot from the radio. And
Yeah.
I think I turned a lot to radio, listening to music, because it made me forget of what was going on in my life when I was younger, because
Okay.
of what happened to me when I was younger as well.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I got to meet you, and I've got to learn a lot of stuff, and I thank you for that, because I wouldn't be here right now where I'm at if it wasn't for you, Mad Dog, and I appreciate you for that.
Well, you're very, very welcome. I appreciate the compliments. One of the things that I do and that I love doing is sharing my knowledge of the business with other
Yes.
people.
And that's greatly appreciated.
Especially when like somebody like Amelia came to me and said, teach me.
Yes.
When someone says, teach me, show me,
Mhm.
that's it's I believe in that old adage, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but if you teach him the fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I'm teaching you how to fish.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I was first a guest on his show a couple of times before I became a co-host.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, she actually was. She started. It's funny how talk about a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
We met, and I said, you want to hang around here for a while?
Mhm.
She was a guest on the show one night, and we were finished with the show, and she was hanging out in what I call the green room, down here. You guys can't see this because you're watching us, but there's a green room down here. And Amelia was hanging out in the green room, and I said, you want to maybe hang out and you want to try your hand at this? Because I think, you have like a personality. Maybe we could do something here. And at the time, Amelia, again, my hand, I won't put the right one. The right one up, okay? My hand, I will tell you that I had a co-host that was just Amelia, God bless him, but he was the worst, wasn't he?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And he was, I'm not even going to say his name, but he was bad.
Yeah. And in January, it'll be 4 years.
4 years, yes.
Yeah.
4 years. His name, I'll tell you his name.
No.
His name was Jake.
That's it. That's all we'll say. But yeah.
That's all. His name was Jake. And Jake was, God bless him, just a little too heavy into the wrestling is real bit, because he really believed that it was real. And I had to walk away from that. I said, I'm sorry, Jake, but I'm going to have to separate you from the show because you're killing me, Bo. You're killing me, man.
Yeah.
So Amelia hopped in, and I said, you know what? I think we're going to keep you around a little. 4 years later, I can't get rid of her now.
So
That's why when sometimes I'll start the show, I go, oh my God, she's back.
Wait, can I ask you two a question?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, because I've been wanting to ask you guys this, okay?
Absolutely, of
I
course.
want to know where Pitbull and Mad Dog came from.
Go ahead.
Well, Pitbull came from, he gave me that nickname because he had some wrestling personality podcasters that were saying negative things about him, cursing about him, and I got on the air and I let him have it with some curse words, and that's where the Pitbull came from.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't mess with Angelo. You'll have to mess with me.
I've been the Mad Dog for 45 years.
Yep.
I have been Mad Dog DeCipio or Mad Dog Diamond was what it started at.
Yeah.
Mad Dog Diamond and Mad Dog DeCipio. And because I use my real name now, when I was working, actively working, making money in radio, I was Mad Dog Diamond. I'm retired now. I'm 66 years old. I'm having fun. It's like I always say to people, if you're having fun, you've never worked a day in your life.
Absolutely.
But I've been the Mad Dog for a long time. And it's because you may not believe this because I'm a kind and gentle soul, but there are people who say that I come across a little like rough or maybe a little arrogant or maybe a little full of myself once in a while. My wife will probably keep you on the phone for 4 or 5 hours telling you stories about the Mad Dog. But yeah, I mean, and we do a lot of good here.
5 hours is a little bit too short. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
I got to say hello to his wife. She was adorable.
I love her.
It was a number of things that solidified my reputation as the Mad Dog. Amelia and I had a little conversation before we went on the air tonight about the Mad Dog.
And I set him straight.
Yeah. Yes, she did too. I went, okay. She said, calm down there, son.
Well,
I want you to promote. I want you. It's time for you, Jerry, to. Oh, you know what? I got to get this. Oh my God, I'm past my break. I got to get this break in. We're on a hard break.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Hey Max, what's going on? I'm X, and from this moment on, I'm going to be your own personal AI DJ on Spotify. Let's go. Up next, I know you've been on a summer song kick lately, so I went back for some of your old summertime favorites. See if it warms you up. Next up, some of the music you had on a lot back in 2018.
Do you think of me Walking out there.
All right, Max, let's get you out of your feels and switch up the vibe. You've been into dance music lately. I got this brand new release to get you moving. Introducing DJ, the best of Spotify made just for you, one tap away. Powered by AI, delivered by me. You're very.
We are back on America's Popcast. What's the buzz? By the way, I want to show you something we're very proud of here.
Yes.
This is from Podcast Addict. Can we see that?
Mhm.
Podcast Addict. I'm holding it too close to the camera. We won a it's called the Listener Choice Award for Talk and Variety, presented by Podcast Addict.
Yay!
Yes.
This is their subscription base to What's the Buzz Popcast and WWTF and WTBR Radio 88.7 BRS. By the way, people have asked me, what is BRS? It's Broadband Radio System. And we are a major player on the broadband radio system all over the world over here. And okay, so I want you to take a couple of seconds here. We're going to run late, but I don't care. Promote the book, promote your social. Where can people reach out to you? Go for it.
All right. So I have to say this first because we were talking about nicknames. So when I first started out, I called myself the smartass, which I love. Brother O from Beverly Nation decided I'm the Jersey Jewel. Forget this smartass crap, Jersey Jewel. Well, I laughed. Listen, that took off.
Yeah.
Not smartass that I wanted.
Right.
Okay, Jersey Jewel. I'm like, really? I'm an Italian, honey. I want to be smartass. But all right. So everybody, I'm not an addict. I'm just an ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. You can go to Amazon. Simon & Schuster's bookstore is Archway Publishing. When I revised my book, Archway Publishing is now partnered up with them, and they revised it. So you can go to Archway Publishing bookstore, but Amazon really. Okay, so just go to Amazon, and you'll be able to find it.
Terrific.
And my social media, actually, I'm on Facebook, Geri Petito.
Yep.
The Geri Petito Show YouTube channel, which this is also going to be on. It has all my shows, most of my shows. So you can go check out some of those.
Sure.
I have also the Hamilton Radio page that this show will also be on. So you can check that out.
Wonderful.
And there you have it.
I encourage everyone to do so. You guys can reach us. You know where to get a hold of us. Facebook. We're all over social media. Just get a hold of Amelia. I don't do any social media. She does all of it. I just kind of, once in a while, I know how to get into Facebook Messenger.
He does.
Wait, did you see my ad that I tagged you in, or should I?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I got it.
He saw that. The photo. I made the photo page. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, when I finally learned how to do it.
Cool.
Yeah, I had to teach him.
She does all that stuff, but she finally got it. The other thing is Amelia.
Yes.
What do we got coming up?
Let's see. Tomorrow, let's see.
I have no idea. I do schedule, but I don't remember stuff.
You don't remember stuff at all, do you?
I don't remember stuff. Nope.
Stuff.
Okay. Well, let's see. What are we doing tomorrow? I know it's not.
That's why I asked you. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Let's see. I know that it's Behind the Veil.
We are. Oh, you reminded me. Okay, that's what we're doing. Behind the Veil. When mystery becomes history.
Yes. How
things evolve, how rumor becomes reality, how innuendo becomes fact. We're going to talk about how the media manipulates your info. That's tomorrow night. And we are going to do something in the upcoming weeks into January, actually. We're going to start the new year. We are doing a full, unadulterated format change. We are going all conspiracy all the time. And we are going and live news breaks as they happen. We will continue. One of the things that people love about us, and I just can't figure it out, but they love our election coverage.
Yes.
We do live election coverage from the time the polls open to the time the polls close.
Cool.
And we've been very fortunate. We predicted the president here, which was good.
Yep.
for if you're a Republican, not so good if you're a Democrat.
Right. Yep.
You
So
know.
we've done
But
a lot of good shows as far as people they keep requesting certain shows for us
oh
to redo
yeah,
them
but
again too. So
it's one
I
of the
mean,
things that we were actually contacted by the Los Angeles Police Department based on the information we presented about the Zodiac case.
Okay.
And so we actively participated with the LA police on the Zodiac
Mhm.
currently because it's
That's cool.
Mhm.
I interviewed the Robbinsville police and the listen, it was crazy. The lieutenant,
nuts.
everybody, they all came live in studio.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was
Yep.
nuts. Then we had, you remember a case, Jerry, the boy in the box?
Yes, of course.
We had
That was
the
so
woman who discovered the boy in the box on the show with a forensic, that Dr. Fitzpatrick
yes.
was her name. Dr. Colleen
I-
Fitzpatrick. She is the geneticist who was able to trace that boy back to living relatives in Philadelphia right
Amazing.
now.
Amazing.
I would
It's
not let
remarkable.
that show go, would I?
You-
would I, Mad
and
Dog?
that was another Amelia show. Amelia
Yeah.
wanted me to say,
Amazing.
you know, she said, "Can we take a look at this one?"
I
'Cause,
would
you know, we
not let
do
it
a
go.
meeting about once a week. We do a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, we discuss what we're going to do, and that was, I'll tell you what, man, that was a great call on that one, Amelia. That was
Yeah,
a really
thank
good
you.
call.
How long did I have
Um,
you do that? Like 5 months? I would not let it go. I would not let it go.
Yeah, I want to bring
Amazing.
Geri Petito back, and next time, Jerry, I want to bring you back. That I want to just talk about music.
Okay.
I just want to spend time just talking about music.
Elvis.
Yeah.
We can do Elvis. Oh man, we could do Elvis.
We could do
all
that
night
in
long.
January, close to his birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to share something with you real quick.
Sure.
Michael Diamore. Okay.
Yep.
Another friend
Great
of mine,
voice.
Nancy. That's how I got to
Sure.
meet Michael. Now he's family.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
So, and I've never really said this about any other artist. I mean, the artists are incredible, of course.
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't take away from them. But Elvis is up here to
Mhm.
me. I'm sorry. Elvis is up here, baby.
Mhm.
Okay. And then
I'm
I
with
said,
you.
you know what? Michael Diamore is pretty close.
I'll
But
tell you
then-
what, he's got a hell of a voice.
Hell of a voice. But then Carter Rubin, okay, Rick
Yeah,
Mango is
absolutely,
grandpa.
sure.
I got to meet them and interview them. Their family now. Well, I interviewed Carter because he's very good friends with Michael, and I said,
Yeah.
Carter, I'm moving Michael down one. You're going to go in Michael's place, and
Oh,
Michael
right.
will be third. It was
I
priceless.
even got this book too. I
It
don't know
was
if you've seen
priceless.
it.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
I had you know what, Amelia,
Mhm.
I'm going to do something real quick.
Sure.
I want you and Jerry hang out for a couple seconds.
Okay.
Whoop,
I
Oh,
mean, you want,
I did wrong one.
he took us out. Yeah, I ended up buying this book because it looked interesting to me.
Yes, I have that book. I was
Really?
given that book. Every time anything Elvis comes out, if I
Mhm.
showed you my Elvis rooms,
Mhm.
I can't have any more Elvis stuff. People, everything that comes out. Okay.
Well, I'll try to read this book
Jerry,
before we
I'm going to send you
talk about
something, Jerry.
again. So
I'm going to send Jerry this book.
Mhm.
It's autographed by the author.
oh wow,
It's called Destined to Die Young. Sally Hodel. She was a guest on my show.
Okay.
awesome.
Sally's a sweet lady, and she signed, and it's great because she signed her name to it, but it doesn't say to Mad Dog or anything. So it's just it's her autograph on her
Okay.
book. I'm gonna send this book to you. It's got amazing information here, stuff that you didn't know about Elvis that the general public will never know.
Okay.
And I'm going to send this to you. Would this be okay? Can I send it
are
to
you
you?
kidding?
Oh no, I always ask people because I don't
Yeah,
want to.
he does before he sends anything.
Yeah, and I never want to assume.
Well, I didn't ask him if I could send my books to you guys. I said, hey, I'm sending you my books.
All right.
That's how we do it, baby. That's how we do it.
Right. I'll read this before you come back on, so we'll kind of like conversate
Yeah,
about this one too, so.
absolutely. All right, I'll tell you what, we had a great time tonight.
Mhm.
It was great.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, that's another amazing interview. I love talking to people because that's just what I do.
Mhm.
Jerry and I have that in common. We just the mouth that roared. Here we are. It doesn't hurt that I'm Italian either. I could talk about anything.
Mhm.
We will be here tomorrow night behind the veil. When mystery becomes history, we will talk about, we will go down yet another rabbit hole. We've opened up rabbit holes and wormholes, and oh my God.
Yeah.
But you know what? We never get tired of it. Tomorrow night, Behind the Veil, I will tell everyone that we will. Let's see, we're 8:05. You know what, folks? At this point, it doesn't matter because we're past our time. They're just going to have to suck it up and deal with it. So tomorrow night we will be here. Amelia and I and Big Cal will be back with What's the Buzz? America's Popcast. Be kind to each other, folks. It takes a lot more muscles to be angry than it does to smile. And that's a true fact, too, by the way.
Yes.
That's absolutely true. Smile, be kind to each other, and we will see you, Lord willing, the creek don't rise tomorrow night. God bless you, folks. Take care. Good night.